Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody has something different they can bring to the table. You know, some people are great leaders. Some people are very, have brilliant analysis of things, and some people have something artistic to bring to it. And I have a long, history in being an artist and even being involved in performance and things like that, and a musician. So that's just something that this is a way that I can bring the message to my viewers, or, is with that attitude, because that's just part of who I am. So that's the way I express myself.
Well, and be yourself, as I mentioned. When I woke up to all of this, I was in radio, and people are saying, Jack, why didn't you quit radio and go out and shine shoes against the New World Order? Well, this is what I know how to do. So I did this, and I've continued to do it with at least a modicum of success. But because I tell the truth, Sonia, sometimes even the truth movement doesn't want to hear the truth. Mm-hmm. It's been kind of a loaded gun. Now, you're up in Canada, and I'm sure you guys have done videos covering the North American Union. I'd like to get your opinions and comments on that.
Well, it's something that's very possible, because actually Canada and America are corporations, and they can just have a corporate merger. But the thing is, you see, like I say, it's key to keep the matrix going. You don't want everybody to wake up to what's going on. If you just say, okay, we're part of...
They're doing very good now. You don't want to turn over the whole apple cart in order to, garner one rat here. No.
Right, because people will obviously not be happy about that. And so you have to, again, do it incrementally. I don't know how that's going to be done, but, for one thing, they signed the Security and Prosperity Partnership, basically gives America all dibs on our resources and gives the American military the right to come up here in case we have a national emergency. The borders become more and more blurred, and I think it's just eventually it's going to be, blurred into one big corporation. Like what happened in Europe, started out as an economic thing, and then it merged more, and now they're going to have a president of the EU, and, So
well, you're right. A lot of people talk in this country about the Revolution, the American Revolution, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence. And where I really get in a lot of trouble, Sonia, is when I refer to this country as the Virginia Company. Because you're right. These are corporations, and as people, they have delineated us as corporations. Everything's a corporation, and when you're talking about the North American Union, it is a merger. We've been on this program talking about, and this is one of the key kind of benchmark moments for me in my career, was watching the European Union celebrate their 50th anniversary here 2 years ago. They didn't announce the European Union until the late 80s. So they considered what is for us NAFTA and GATT and now CAFTA as the emergence of their European Union. Why would it be any different for us?
Absolutely. It happened in Europe. There's an African Union, and the Asian Union's in progress. So it's just a matter of time before, we merge. But
they can't tell us. They can't see. Even this is even going on in Europe right now. We have a story of Van Puy, as we call him. He's the puppet president of the European Union, who came out here at the end of the year in 2009 and said, okay, this is the first year of world government.
Global governance, that's right.
And it's because of, and something we covered extensively, not what went on outside at the G20 in Pittsburgh, what went on inside. And then he pointed to the Copenhagen summit and said, this is the first year of world government. And then he came out today, and we're seeing how the European Union is expanding power over sovereignty. They've announced the European Union. It is a real thing. They passed the Lisbon Treaty. They bent arms and shot people to do it and threatened people. But still, they are having to go up against the individual sovereignty of people and countries. They're not going to just come out and tell us, Sonia, that we're the North American Union, or for that matter, the American Union. They've got to wean us into this.
We basically kind of already are, because we're all under the globalists, We're all the corporations. And people like to blame the government. I wouldn't blame the government at all. I think probably a lot of people in government are just doing their job, but it's above that. It's the corporations. And we're already under their power or whatever. And, there's not really a huge difference even between Canada and America at this point, because we've already lost a lot of our sovereignty. It's all just getting hacked away at really slowly. They just want to make sure that people just don't one day en masse wake up and realize that and freak out, although I don't even know if they would, because at this point people are kind of catatonic,
Didn't it happen? I look around, maybe I live in a bubble, and maybe sometimes you do, and our listeners do, but didn't happen? I mean, we just did a whole story, talk about victories instead of fear-mongering. We did a whole story in the first hour of our program today about winning the animal identification cause here, and that's a big deal for our farmers and for our ranchers and for people who eat food in America. That's a victory. We won, and we won because people are awake. I mean, when you start going after people's money and their houses, okay, and people can understand this giant credit swap that just happened on the economic 9/11, which was an inside job, that really does wake people up. Yet, when the underpants bomber tried to bomb Detroit, God knows why Al-Qaeda hates Detroit, but which is close to Canada. A lot of people don't know, don't live there. But anyway, where is Yemen on a map, folks? But 70% of the people polled thought that we should attack Yemen, and we saw what happened after 9/11. A lot of people were awake through the Bill Clinton years and the Al Gore years, but all of a sudden we had 9/11, and 99% of the people wanted to go attack somebody and kill somebody. So even if we've made this progress and people are awake, it's so easy to kind of, excuse the expression, bitch slap them right back into the New World Order.
Right. Well, that's it. It's just a lot of fear tactics to get people to do whatever they want. They just kind of, like I've said in my video, they just kind of say boo, and the sheep all just run in one direction. Because, like, even people that I know who are semi-awake, but they still have a lot of trust, so they say, well, the naked scanners, well, isn't it better to be safe and have them? They don't understand the greater issue at stake of your privacy and your liberty, things like that. So people just kind of compromise it because they're just scared into doing it.
And radiating you, which is a big report that came out in a major paper. Can you stay with me?
I have to go because I have to go pick up my son.
Okay, very good. Well, I appreciate you greatly for being on the program. You did a great job today. And
thank you.
And I want everyone to go to the Truther Girls. They can just Google the Truther Girls, but give out any web information.
I just have the YouTube, the Truther Girls right now, and a blog, thetruthergirls.wordpress.com, but my website is going to be changed to thetruthergirls.com very soon.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.